Alleluia, alleluia. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. The Lord is God and has given us light. Alleluia, alleluia. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "Beware of men, for they will hand you over to courts and scourge you in their synagogues, and you will be led before governors and kings for my sake, as a witness before them and the pagans. When they hand you over, do not worry about how you are to speak or what you are to say. You will be given at that moment what you are to say. For it will not be you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. Brother will hand over brother to death, and the father his child. Children will rise up against parents and have them put to death. You will be hated by all because of my name, but whoever endures to the end will be saved." The Gospel of the Lord. Yesterday evening, I was talking to a priest friend in another part of the country, and he was asking, "What are you going to do today?" And I said, "Well, I have Mass at 9 o'clock. And he said, "You have Mass?" He said, "Will anybody come?" I said, "You have to know St. Mark's. You have to know St. Mark's." Thank you for being here as we continue to celebrate Christmas. Can't get enough of it. And, the church has an entire season for us to try to take in what we celebrated on Christmas Day, because one day simply is not enough. On the great feasts, the great solemnities of our church are Christmas and Easter. They are followed by what's called the octave, and we have entered the octave now. So the feast and then 7 days after, in the mind of the church, are considered one big Christmas day or one big Easter Sunday. And so we just keep for 1 week, forgetting what day of the week it is, because for us, it's still Christmas. And then we still can't get enough, because then we have the 12 days of Christmas that will take us up to January 6th. But it's not even over then, because the church's Christmas season will continue until the baptism of the Lord, well into January. And so, the beauty of Christmas and all the excitement getting ready is followed now by the peace of the Christmas, the octave, the 12 days, the Christmas season, where we simply try to take in what we have celebrated. And today we celebrate, December 26th, the feast of St. Stephen, deacon and martyr. For a long, long time, I could not understand why the church would have the feast of a martyr the day after Christmas. And, if I've learned anything, I've learned the church has a reason for everything she does. Nothing is by accident. There are reasons, and good reasons, and deep reasons. And, I think over the years, I've really begun to reflect on the fact that the church places the feast of St. Stephen right after Christmas, because immediately the church wants us to reflect on the fact that Jesus became one like us. With joy, we celebrate that at Christmas. But if we leave the Christmas mystery there, we really lose its power. Jesus took on flesh, became one like us in all things but sin, for a purpose, so that we could become one like him. Jesus came into the world to redeem our humanity, to make us like him. So that'd be the beautiful words in one of our Eucharistic prayers, that God the Father wants to see and love in us the very things that he sees and loves in Jesus. And what better example than Stephen? Stephen, who is being executed, and what does he do? Not what I think I would do. He prays for his persecutors. And what do we hear there? An echo of Jesus, who on the cross says, "Father, forgive them. They know not what they do." Stephen had become like Christ. And so the church gives us this great saint and this first martyr as a reminder to us that, as we stare at this precious little baby in the creche, not to think that this little baby is harmless, not to think that this little baby isn't going to demand anything of us. He's going to ask a lot of us. He's going to ask that we, first of all, follow him, learn from him, but then that we become like him. So as we continue to reflect, and will be reflecting in these days on the Christmas mystery, we thank God for loving the world so much that he sent his only begotten Son. But we also know that Jesus came down to earth for a purpose, and that purpose was so that we could become like him. He takes on our humanity so that we in turn can take on his divinity. And so he will ask us as we follow him through his life, through his teaching, his suffering, and his death, he will ask many things of us. And some of those things will be very hard. St. Stephen gives us a wonderful example, because to forgive our enemies, to want the good of our enemies, is a whole lot of love. And Jesus, who is love, lived his life with that love, and calls us not to think that it's a pipe dream for us to love as he loved, but that he became one like us so that we could become one like him, so that we could be full of love. In St. Stephen, deacon and martyr, we see that love in a follower of Jesus. And now as we continue celebrating Christmas, continue walking with Jesus through a new church year, we're called to be taken up by that love, to be consumed by that love, and to become that love. Part of the Christmas mystery. We pray that we will think long and hard on it, and that we will allow God to have his way with us. It was a reason why he sent Jesus into the world, so that we could become like him.